What's going on, guys? This is Miasin. So a bunch of new cards have just been announced, and yeah, we're going to be looking at like maybe 30 cards today, so definitely not going to be wasting any more of your time. Let's get right into it. The first card is just, kind of like the announcement of the next V-Jump promo, but no effect. But it's going to be a remake of Dandelion, which is currently a banned card because it's way too good. Obviously, can't get unbanned, even if it becomes once per turn, because it's pretty much like a one-card Link 3 monster, kind of, in a way. So yeah, this card is a little too degenerate. Well, actually, it might be way more than that, so I wouldn't be shocked if this card would be like a one-card FTK or something. I don't know. I don't know if, like, what this card could do if it gets unbanned, but no, Dandy White Lion might be just like a more fair version of it, so yeah, definitely interested and looking forward to this card. Alright, next up is a card that I've already made a video on, Hita the Fire Channeler. I don't like this card. I think people are defending this card because they say that it's really good in Volcanics, and I think that's also cap because in Volcanics, like, unless you're very specifically discarding like a shell, you're never really getting value off of anything that you're discarding, really. I mean, I don't know, like maybe the Big Emperor or something, because you can revive back from the graveyard as well. But you want to be discarding your scatter shots with the effect of your Blaze Accelerator, rather as a cost. So if you're, if you're discarding scatter shots with Hita, you're really just going neg1. And even if you're searching like a searcher, like a Rocket or the new guy, it's really just making you break even. And this card, it will make you break because it's once per turn, and if you get ashed, you committed 2 cards to, lose to 1 single ash. So yeah, this is just not good. And now, the thing is, the channeler monsters, they're not exactly all the same. Even though they all search monsters from the deck to the hand, and they all share the same second effect, they have different restrictions. So this one, I want to say, is way too rough because it's attack greater than the attack of the discarded monster, which makes it really inconsistent. But yeah, I want to say the fire channeler is really bad. The Asa as well is really bad because, why would you play Asa when the Vernalizer monsters exist instead? They're way better because you're also discarding a card just like, with Asa, but you're also reviving back a monster and you're searching a card, so it's just infinitely better. And the area, the water channeler, is going to be pretty good because if you discard your Atlanteans, they all get an effect. Whereas, again, in Volcanics, only Shell kind of does something. And the new Volcanic monster, I think it's a level 1 or 2 or 3, I forgot. But yeah, I don't know. Not a big fan of this card at all. You might as well just play Small World at this point, so yeah, don't like it. Alright, new Mikanko cards. Arahime, the Manifested Mikanko, level 9. But again, you're not really Ritual Summoning in the Mikanko deck. That's the funny part. You can Ritual Summon this card with Mikanko Kagura. You can only use the first effect of this card's once per turn. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, and if you have a another Mikanko card in your grave, you can target one face-up monster on the field, equip it with this card. Once per turn during the end phase, so your end phase, your opponent's end phase, if this card is equipped to a monster, you can return this card and the equipped monster to the hand. Not bad, so you can break your opponent's board, and you can recycle this back from the graveyard to the spell and trap zone to the hand. So that's actually really interesting. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battles involving this card. Yeah, okay, so it's pretty much the same effect as the, typical Mikanko monsters. And now we've got a trap card, Mikanko Spiriting Away. Normal trap, you can only use both effects once per turn. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Equip that face-up monster to a Mikanko monster you control. That's already really good. Then, if there is a ritual monster card on the field, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each equip spell you control. That's really just like an extra win condition in time. And then you can banish it from the grave, special summon one of your Mikanko monsters that is banished or in your hand. I actually really like this card. I think it's definitely something that the deck needed in a way. Well, maybe not needed, but I mean, kind of. The deck needs just more good cards that allow you to, do things on your opponent's turn. Because going second, of course, you can OTK the same way the Gusto deck would by making your opponent always take the damage, but it's really just a gimmick at this point. Mikanko is better off kind of like an engine with the equip spell so that you can bounce back monsters or like equip monsters, steal monsters, etc. So okay, so now is a new monster, Spellcaster, but it's only really just to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Yu-Gi-Oh! So Magicians of Bond and Unity, level 8 Spellcaster, and I don't think anyone's shocked to see that it has 2500 attack and 2500 defense. Cannot be normal summoned or said, must be special summoned from your hand by having 25 or more cards in your grave. Gains 2500 attack and defense while your opponent has 25 or more cards in the graveyard. This is not a card that you're trying to play, just a card that you're trying to collect because it's really cool. It has a beautiful artwork. So yeah, it's really nice. Not every card in the game has to be good, you know? Sometimes it's cool to have cards that people are going to appreciate just for the nostalgia aspect of it, you know? It's really just like a celebration card. Alright, Duelist Genesis. Normal spell card. You can only activate one card with this card's name once per turn. If you have a tuner on your field or in your graveyard, add one synchro spell or trap from your deck to your hand. You can definitely add some really interesting cards with this. You can add desynchro. Okay, so all the targets are here, actually, because there's really not that many. Synchro Overtake is actually a pretty good one. You can summon Deep Sea Diva from your deck, or I think add it as well if you want to. Some other cards that I've actually never heard about, like before. For the most part, it's really not that good. I don't think this card's really going to be played in the Synchron deck. Okay, this card, on the other hand, is Insanity. Dark Corridor. Normal spell card. You can only activate one card with this card's name once per turn. Add one Dark World monster from your deck to your hand and discard one card. This is insane because it makes it so that any one Dark World monster and this card basically ensures that you can trigger the nasty effect of that Dark World. Let's say you have Silva with this card. You search for the Ceruli and then you discard Ceruli and then you make your opponent make you discard the Silva, and then the Silva actually makes your opponent lose 2 cards from the hand. So this is really nasty. It's like that missing combo piece card that you really needed. And it's also, in a way, a starter. And at worst, it's an upstart goblin. I have nothing bad to say about this card. It's incredible. It really is. But it is not a Dark World card, so it is not searchable by Snow. That is the one issue. If it was a Dark World card, if the name was Dark World Corridor, it potentially would have been, like, extremely broken. But this is definitely going to be a nice addition to the deck. A new Illusionist monster, which is not correlated to the theme of the mythical beast, the gazelle and everything, Baphomet. So this is really nice because yesterday when I made the video, people were kind of scared that it was going to be kind of a gimmick that would be restricted to only one archetype, but it is not. So Nightmare Magician, the first generic Illusionist monster in the, in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Level 7, and again, exactly just like I said, if Spellcasters and Fairy could have a baby, that would be Illusionist. It is literally Spellcasters 2.0. That is what the theme is, and I know that because I play the video games. Anyways, 2500 attack, 2000 defense, really reminiscent to Dark Magician. Monsters cannot be destroyed by battles involving this card. At the end of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can take control of that monster. That's actually really good, what the heck. Once per turn at the start of the damage step, if another monster attacks, you can destroy one card on the field. That is so good. Like, if you can reliably summon this card, it's actually going to be really insane, but this, at the moment, is really hard to have access to. Already looking off to a, I don't know, great start. If we have, like, a card that says, like, summon an illusionist monster from your deck directly, that would be like really freaking cool. Oh yeah, by the way, it's an illusionist monster, but it has the word magician in its name, so it could have also been a spellcaster. Anyways, Gold Pride monsters, and these cards are really freaking spicy. Gold Pride Roller Baller, level 5 Earth Psychic, pretty terrible stats. If your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can special summon this card from your hand. During the main phase, quick effect, you can fusion summon one Gold Pride fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters from your hand or field as materials. That is also on your opponent's main phase, and then you can only use each effect once per turn. Not bad. Gold Pride Pinballer, level 9 Dark Machine Fusion, 3k attack, 0 defense. So you need Gold Pride Roller Baller, so which is this card, which means that you can use fusion deployment and everything. It's always the same thing, right? With any Gold Pride monsters, but at least one of them, you can use as many as you want. If this card is fusion summon, you can equip face-up monsters your opponent controls to it, doesn't target, and doesn't destroy. That is insane. Up to the number of fusion materials used, so always at least 2. And then you can only use the previous effect of Gold Pride Pinballer once per turn. Also, if your life points are lower than your opponent's, the effect activation and effect cannot be negated. So you can't Veiler and you can't Solemn Strike if you have less life points. That is also really disgusting. Once per turn during the end phase of the previous effect was activated this turn, return this card to the extra deck. Also, special summon one Gold Pride Roller Baller from your deck or graveyard. So you're going to be downgrading back to this card, which is fine because you can still fusion summon again and just keep stealing monsters on your opponent's turn, because this is when it's special fusion summoned. So you can fusion summon on your opponent's turn since this is a quick effect. Incredible card. I love both of these cards. This is just incredible. Because the thing is, we've been getting TCG exclusives that, well, TCG exclusive archetypes that were so bad for the longest time that this is finally kind of refreshing to see, like actual good cards. And then a rank 3 monster. Hopefully this is not like another Mirage Talio or MX Saber Invoker S card. You can detach one material from this card and one Gold Pride spell from your deck to your hand. Then if your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can Foolish a Gold Pride from your deck to the grave. That's really cool. You can only use the previous effect once per turn. Once per turn during the end phase, if the previous effect was activated this turn, return this card to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon one Gold Pride Captain Carry from your deck or grave. I expect the Gold Pride Captain Carry to be a level 3. I forgot because I haven't reviewed these cards in a while, but this is definitely not too bad. Alright, the next card is a spell card, so a card that you can search with this rank 3 monster, which by the way is generic, so if you want to play some random ass level 3 monsters in your deck, you can do that. Gold Pride that came out of nowhere, just like this card. Quickly spell, special summon one Gold Pride monster from your hand or grave, then your opponent can special summon one monster from their hand or grave to the field, but negate its effects. You can only activate one card, one Gold Pride once per turn. One came out of nowhere. I'm not gonna freaking pronounce the entire name of this card because it takes like 10 years, but yeah, whatever, it's once per turn. Not bad, but I mean, it's a monster reborn, and it's a quick play, so you can use it on your turn, on your opponent's turn, but if you use it on your opponent's turn, then it's not that great because then your opponent gets like an extra extender, but at least it doesn't negate the effect of your monster, only the monster that your opponent summons, so that's not too bad. Gold Pride, Pedal to the Metal, quickly spell again, Jesus. Target one Gold Pride monster you control until the end of the turn. It gains 500 attack, also it cannot be destroyed by battle by card effects, and it cannot activate its effects. Okay, during the end phase, if a face-up Gold Pride monster you control was destroyed by battle or card effect this turn, you can set this card from your grave. You can only use this effect once per turn. In a way, this can kind of help you out if you're negating like the mandatory effect that makes them return back to the extra deck, but that's the only way I can see that part being like positive. Apart from that, it's not really the best. But yeah, I mean, it's a card that recurs itself back every single time, so it's cool, but it's not really broken. Alright, Gold Pride, better luck next time. I love the name of the card. All these names are funny. Continuous spell, when this card is activated, you can add one Gold Pride monster from your deck to your hand, and if you do, lose life points equal to its attack. Okay, this is insanely overpowered. This is exactly what I asked for the theme. Literally, I wanted a card that allowed you to search a monster from deck to hand and then take damage or make your opponent gain life points. This is exactly what it does. This is nuts. Because then all your Gold Pride monsters, they actually start doing something relevant, and this becomes like unrespondable. Like, you can't respond to this card anymore. If a face-up Gold Pride monster you control that was special summoned from the extra deck returned to the extra deck, you can draw one card. Okay, well, this also makes you gain advantage off of the mandatory effect of your extra deck monsters. You can only use this effect once per turn, and you can only activate this card once per turn. Love this card. It's definitely a 3-of for sure. Alright, the final card is Gold Pride. It's neck and neck. Normal trap, target one Gold Pride monster you control or one Gold Pride card in your grave, except itself, return it to the hand. If your opponent controls a monster with higher attack than your life points, you can banish this card and one Gold Pride monster from your grave. Special summon one other Gold Pride monster from your extra deck that mentions that banished monster's name. You can only use each effect once per turn. You can't really summon the fusion and then use its effect because it's only on fusion summon, and it depends on the amount of materials that you used, and this doesn't really have an effect if you're... It's not bad, but like... I'm not a super big fan of it, but it's maybe a 1-of in the deck, but not as good as this card for sure. This card's like whatever, maybe a 1-of. This card's like a 1-of or a 2-of, and yeah, all these cards are absolutely amazing. So definitely a great, you know, wave of support for Gold Pride because nobody really cared about them, you know, the last time. And finally, the best part of this video would be the Altergeist cards. These new cards are honestly insane. Like, I really don't know where to start. So, Altergeist Mulwisp, level 3 Spellcaster Tuner. Very interesting. It's not the first tuner for Altergeist, I think, but it's the first one that people actually will want to play. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is added to your hand, except by drawing it, you can special summon it. Pretty much the same as the Blackwing Zephyr or something. I always make that... Yeah, Breeze the Zephyr. Exactly. So, yeah, if you search it, you special summon it. And if this card is normal or special summoned, including by its first effect, you can target an Altergeist monster in your grave, special summon it in defense, but it cannot activate this its effects this turn. So yeah, you can't revive itself back, but that doesn't matter. You can revive back Meluseek and then link it off and then get the search because it won't be the same monster that you revive back. That's a way to like circumvent the drawback of this card. You can go normal summon Meluseek, link one into Link Creep or something, and then search this and then special summon it and then revive back, and that's already like a link 3 3 worth of monsters, or like you can make a Hextia, and then link off the Hextia and then search another Altergeist card again. But I don't believe you can make Prime Banshee because I think you need like only Spellcaster monsters. Yeah, so yeah, I mean Altergeist monsters. That's not gonna work unfortunately, but still, that's actually so freaking cool. Yeah, definitely a really good card for sure. But it's not like a starter. It's only really an extender, but it's still really insane. Altergeist Parinerainer. What the hell? Traitor. Oh, I can't read. Anyways, level 1 fire spell. Leave me alone. Garbage stats. You with a big O. So that's me, by the way. Can only use the second and third effect of this card's demons per turn. It can attack directly. Oh, I've seen this before. Oh, okay. Meluseek for poor people. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can draw a card. Okay, so it's literally Meluseek 2.0. If this card is sent from the field to the grave, literally Meluseek again, you can send an Altergeist card from your hand deck or face a field to the grave except itself. I don't think Foolishing for Altergeist cards is that good. The only one that's really good in the grave would be Manifestation. That's it. Like, I mean, it has like a grave effect, an ignition effect in the grave, not a trigger effect is what I'm trying to say. This is not as good as Meluseek, I'm not gonna lie. So I wouldn't play multiple copies of this card like at all. Alrighty, next up is Altergeist Admenia. 2+ Altergeist monsters, but it's a link for it, so it's really hard to summon, and it's absolutely not generic. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is link summoned, you can set an Altergeist trap directly from your deck, and once while face up on the field. During the main phase quick effect, you can send one card you control to the grave, then target one effect monster upon controls, take control of it, and if you do, it's treated as an Altergeist monster. That's really interesting. You can steal a monster permanently, and the fact that it's treated as an Altergeist allows you to like link off with it, and then like summon this card again, potentially, and then you can keep on stealing monsters and do the same thing over and over. So this is actually really interesting. I definitely like that. But yeah, this card's pretty good if you can summon it, but it's hard to summon. So unless you're playing Altergeist as like a combo deck, good luck getting to this card, basically. And then finally, we've got Altergeist I should know how to pronounce this. Revitalization. I think. Normal trap, you can only use one of the 2 effects per turn. Oh no, I hate these kind of restrictions. Target one Altergeist link monster in your grave, special summon it. Ooh, does it negate the effect? You can banish this card from your grave immediately after this effect resolves. Normal summon one Altergeist monster. Okay, so when I said that there was nothing that was good to Foolish, I lied, because this is actually, you know, finally a card that can do something in the graveyard for Altergeist. Not bad at all. You can extra normal summon something like a Marionetter, and then revive back whatever like this or something, and just keep on making link monsters and doing things that the deck wasn't even doing before. Honestly, the deck was basically just like a multi-faker and Silquiltis loop, but yeah, this is going to make it go into a different direction where you're really going to be link summoning all the time, honestly. So yeah, every single one of these cards facilitate that. I absolutely love it. Or this rather incentivize it, whereas the other card actually facilitated. But yeah, definitely some nice, interesting cards. I'm a big fan for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know your thoughts about all these new cards in the comment section below. Do you think the new Altergeist cards are good? Do you think the Gold Pride cards are good? And also for these one-ofs, if you think that, you know, they have some nice potential in the future. I want to hear your guys' thoughts, but that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.